Yo, what's going on? This is John, SomeJerk, coming at you once again, live and direct from Hollywood, Florida. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a jungle track inside of Ableton Live 10. So in order to pull this off, what I'm going to be doing is using some samples from the Blue Mar 10 Jungle sample pack. It's got a collection of bass, breaks, effects, pads, and so on. And this is a free sample pack. So make sure you check below the video or right down there and look for the link for free download. And while you're down there finding these free awesome samples, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So the foundation of any good jungle drum and bass track is going to be the drums that are chosen. And in this case, I've chosen what we call the champion break and the bonanza break. I've got a MIDI instrument set up, which is containing a champion sub, which is just... so I'm also going to be pairing that up with another subwoofer. We'll see if we actually use the sample. And from there, I've also picked out a pad sample. So if you've never used the session view before, this might be a good little preview into how you use it. You always end up in the arrangement view, no matter what you're doing in Ableton Live. Part of my technique for working quickly to make these sorts of things is to load a new MIDI instrument on an empty channel, and I'm going to drop my champion break in here, and I'm going to go to slice mode, and I'll use that to create sort of my main beat. And the next one I'm going to do is another simpler, and this time it's going to be the bonanza break, and this time I'm going to set this to transient. No, let's do beat. Now before I go further, since I am in the slice mode, this is very important. Make sure you're starting out on your piano roll at C1. At C3, nothing's playing because the clip is not that long. I'm going to hold shift and go down, shift and go down. And we can hear now that as I'm doing that, this little preview icon enables me to hear. I want to put the snare on 2 and 4. So similarly to how I was messing with the other break on the other simpler, I'm going to make a new MIDI clip. I'm going to make a note on C3 and hold shift and go down and shift and down. And I'm also going to hold shift and go right. So my note is a little bit too short right now. So by hitting left or right while the note is selected and you're holding shift, you can make the note longer or shorter. I'm going to hit Command D and go up, Command D up, and then Command A to select all, and then Command D. So this is just a lazy way to fill the clip up. So let's hear the two of them together. They're not exactly fitting together very well, and one thing that's happening is with my second clip, the snare is not hitting on the 2 and 4. It hits on what would be considered the second count, and then comes in a little bit earlier, and it needs to be kind of shifted. So what I'm going to do is just move my snare on my champion break over a couple notes, and let's listen to that by itself now. The point is that I want these two to work together. So now together, I'm going to be using the champion break as my main drums. I'm going to adjust the fade out. I want to tighten these up because I'm going to be adding more processing. It's just going to be kind of creating an envelope and making your drums tighter. So let's hear what I have so far. I've got sub number 1 loaded. So I've got my saturator, which you already know I love to use. I'm going to crank up the drive. Now I'm going to go ahead and record a quick little clip through my MIDI controller. Loop it around. So let's hear this same clip on my second channel. So this one is very low in volume, and I'm going to go ahead and add a saturator to this one. One of the best parts of using MIDI to control your audio samples is I have the power to go and say, okay, let's double the length of this clip, and I can just go in, hit fold, and now only see the notes that I want. Select these and hit 0. So that means that the first half is going to play, and the second half won't. So I'm going to copy this over and paste it, and now what I want to do is have the second sub play when the first one is not playing, right? The quickest way to do this is to drag this marker and put it at count 1 of bar 5. So you could offset it that way, And you can also look and say, well, these three are active, those three aren't, and then just do the inverse of this, select and select. It just depends on the path of least resistance, whatever is going to give you the less work to do. So let's hear them all together now. All right, so the second sub is sounding a little bit slow. What I'm going to do now is just offset where this marker is, which is where the sample begins. The next step is going to be to record my pad. So my pad sounds like this. And if you've seen my videos before for these sorts of things, what I like to do is go over to voices and set it to 1. And the reason is that I don't want this pad, which is a chord, to overlap with another note, which would be another chord, because they may be discordant. Now when I play one note on the keyboard, another note, I'm just holding these notes down. I don't have to worry about them overlapping. From here, I probably want to go into control and put a little bit of a glide on it. So the glide's at 50 milliseconds. And I like this because it's going to keep the sample progressing. And I'm going to just turn up the volume a little bit on that. I'm going to add, once again, my fix 96. Seems to be my go-to. And since this is very dry, there's no effect on it, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of delay. Very light taps. So I'm not sure if I want to do a long or if I want to do short notes. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is record this to the arrangement view, and before I do that, I'm just going to put this group into a little trash pile, call it trash. That way when I'm recording my clips, I don't have to worry about, well, not recording something that I don't want to. I'm also going to put everything in a row. I'm not spending a lot of time in the session view for this. I'm just trying to make enough that I can record it to the arrangement. So now I'm just going to record the champion sound break. Maybe do like a little interplay between the two. Helps to drink a lot of coffee when you do this. Switch over. Now add the pad. No drums. Get spooky. Swap them out. Now let's hear everything together. Now this entire time, this has been recording to the arrangement view. This is not the final arrangement, this is just a general idea of what I think I want it to sound like. So that's the drums. Alright, so it's got a couple of things going on that I can improve on. The first thing I want to do before I go any further is add trash 2. Alright, so I just wanted to make it a little bit more louder. I'm not trying to go crazy with processing this. I'm going to hold Option and dump it over to Bonanza. Champion break, and we've got Bonanza. Let's hear them together. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is search for a complementary break, something with a similar pattern. So let's pop that into our simpler. Solo. We'll switch. Oof. And at the end of the 8 bars, I would like to do something special. So let's try reversing it, which might not sound good. That actually rolled out pretty well. Let's hear that again. Backwards. Once you get the vibes going, start duplicating these in sort of like in mass. Because now I've got 16, I've got a total of 32 bars started. So let's turn down my filler loops a little bit. Just enough. So hopefully you can hear by taking the time to kind kind of pair these breaks up to listen to them and say, okay, their patterns are like this. Let me match the similar ones. You're going to have a much better chance of getting your drums to be focused and powerful. I've got some different vocal samples and whatnot in here. I'm going to just split that and delete that part. So let's make it take twice as much time. I'm going to add a little bit of echo. Maybe open it up a little bit longer. So I'm going to shut my grid off right here and just give it like just a tease of that last little syllable. Okay. And I'm going to add a little bit of delay. That's going to create a lot of possibly unwanted frequencies. So dump in my EQ8. What I'm doing right now is just creating a high pass filter at 150 hertz. All I'm doing is putting it right where the bass would be starting. I want to keep everything focused so that the drums have their energy and frequency, the bass has its energy and frequency, and everything else just gets sprinkled in on top. Alright, turn my grid back on. Duplicate that first little transient. So I'm giving it just like a little additional tease of that. And now what I'll do is set this to 8 bars. I gotta add an amen, you know? Not having an amen in a jungle track, yeah, you can do it, but just sounds a lot better with it. Yeah, so this one's a lot brighter sounding. Ooh. So the name of the game for me right now is don't let these breaks overlap. They each have their own time, they each have their own place. We've created space for them using the effects. And at this point, we should just be having fun trying to maximize their usage. I'm gonna drop. Tiny little tease in here. Watch this. Little tiny little teases. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. Guess what? You're still here. So I'm going to give you a little bit of bonus content right now. So thank you again for watching this. If you like this video, please subscribe. I just started my channel. I've got 25 followers. If you want to be number 26, trust me, I will remember it and appreciate it forever. So big ups for watching so far. So right now what I want to do is show off a little bit of my new favorite plugin, and it's called Stutter Edit 2. Literally the moment you slap stutter on, it just starts going crazy. All right, so that's literally all I'm going to show you of using Stutter. I could not be more excited about using a plugin, to be honest with you. So I've got these fun little pieces that I can now throw in and utilize. So let's turn record off. I'm going to arbitrarily just sort of sprinkle these in over here. So let's cut, paste, and notice I'm putting them where I don't have any amen. So this literally is just color by numbers. It's like creating patchwork for. Let's just hope that this doesn't sound like hot garbage. Let's both find out for the first time together now. Okay, digging that. Oh boy. Put an EQ and a compressor. Alright. Just a tad of delay, just the smallest. Oh wow. Now we're talking, watch this. Ooh, spicy. That sounded pretty cool. I'm not trying to big up myself because all I did was take everyone else's other pieces and smash them together. But hey, isn't that what we're doing at the end of the day? Take the ideas you like, take the best of different genres, put them together in a way that people can enjoy, and that's all you got to do. Just use good sounds, have a good time, and have fun. All right, thank you again for watching, and thank you for sticking around for this secret portion. Hopefully you learned a little bit about how to make a jungle drum and bass track. And once again, the Jungle sample pack from Blue Martin is available for free. I'll have it linked up below. And also Stutter 2, the effect I was using towards the end that I just teased in for a moment. You can now use a demo of that available at splice.com. So once again, SomeJerk, big ups yourself, peace.